Okay guys, so you can see on this truck right here just how big of a gap we've got. That's probably 3/4 of an inch, maybe even an inch, I don't remember. And I apologize about the lighting. You can tell the lighting was pretty decent at the beginning of the video. The lighting actually messed up on me, didn't realize it, and it kind of ruined the whole thing. So just bear with me on that. I had to really work on and adjust the lighting, and it looks really fake here, but I just kind of had to do that so you could kind of get some visual. But if you go back to the beginning, you can get a really good picture and an idea of, and you can kind of see it throughout sometimes. But anyway, bear with me on that. Essentially, we've got 3 layers here, and we're going to have to add a 4th in order to fix this dump truck. If you don't know for sure what's going on, if you've kind of missed some videos, you can go back on my YouTube channel. If you're watching this on TikTok or Facebook or wherever you're watching this, you can go back to my YouTube channel. I always have all the videos are on YouTube. I don't always have everything on any other platform. YouTube is just a much better platform. But go check that out. I've got a lot more details. They're separated through separate videos, so you really gotta be watching to keep an eye on that. This video was made probably about 6 months ago, and this is the final part of the entire series that we had. But essentially, this is a 3/4 to 1 inch gap on this dump truck, and it has just slowly filled up with dirt. And somebody tried to weld it back, but you never can really quite fix this. And partly because it's full of dirt, just absolutely crammed. It's crammed about 2 foot all the way up in there. And so you don't really want to have to tear it up. You got several layers there. You don't want to have to heat it up and cut anything. You're trying to do something that's affordable for the customer here. Because the customer, a lot of times these dump truck drivers or something, if you're doing this yourself even, but whatever, there's only so much money that they can afford for something like this. So I've got to make it worth my while, or I'm not going to do it. But I've also got to make it affordable for them as well. So essentially what I did was I took that crowbar and I shoved it in there and really started to open that gap up as wide as I could. And periodically I'm blowing this out to keep as much dirt as I can. But be very careful, because that dirt has nowhere to go except back at you. And then here, once I've got it all opened as wide as I can open it and pry as much dirt as I can, that dirt, like I said, it was back about 2 foot. So I take this, I'm using an 8-pound sledge here. You want to use something fairly heavy. You want to work it about all the way to the back of that. And you'll slowly start to see as you're hitting it. Like I said, it goes about 2 foot back, and you can see the curve. It has a curve. I wish I could have gotten a better shot of it, and I just didn't. I didn't realize how bad the video was on here. But you can see me working around this, and I'm working around that curve, and that's causing a lot of shockwave and vibration through the dirt to break it up. And it's also pushing that steel back down carefully, and allowing that steel to push back into place. And I've seen people in a situation like this try to heat that up and bend it back and things like that. And if you're not careful, what you end up with is stretched steel. And once you stretch steel, it's very difficult without just the right tools to get it back into the right form. It's very difficult. If you don't believe me, just ask a blacksmith, and blacksmiths are going to be better at it than most of us are. But if you can get this steel pushed back kind of sort of in place, it's still going to be a little stretched, so you're never going to get it perfect. But all you're trying to do is get the majority of that dirt out as much as you can, so it doesn't sit there and oxidize and just rust and eat up all of this steel inside here. So you clean out as much as you can, and then you want to be able to seal weld this. The problem that most people have with these dump trucks, if they do it themselves, is they won't seal weld it. That's a problem that I've seen a lot. That back tailgate has to be seal welded, or you're going to get this problem. every single time. And you can see here I'm really starting to get some progress, starting to get that back down again. That just where that dirt was, once you get it broken up, it will start coming out of there pretty easy. But I really believe that this heavy 8-pound hammer is going to be essential. And the other thing is you notice I'm using a short hammer instead of a full sledge, a full-length sledge. And the reason is in this scenario, I could actually get a full sledge on there, and I would have the swing advantage if I used a full sledge. The problem is I wouldn't be hitting flat. I would be hitting, because I'm standing up and not down on my knees like I was, I would be more inclined to dent my steel rather than getting a nice flat hit on there. Because all I'm trying to do is just get that shock wave. I'm not really trying to just beat the steel up. And so, like I said, I wish I could show you a better video of that, but that's how it turned out. It turned out really well, and I'm glad that I had this shorter hammer for that. Having a good air compressor with that rubber tip is pretty much essential in a place like this. I find it interesting because some places it's actually illegal to have that rubber tip. It's not here, but some places it is. But you'll just start off working from the back and then slowly working your way all the way up to the front until you get it closed. So you see how much dirt there is on the ground. There was a lot more on the other side. But you can see how much more I got that closed, and I can actually squeeze that off with a clamp and get it closed more than that. I can't be sure that I got 100% of my dirt out, but I got a pretty good bit of that dirt out of there. So I ended up with about 4 layers on this by the time I got completely done. A 4th layer, there was already 3 layers of steel, but I had a 4th layer, and that was in order to get a good seal on the gate of this truck. But if you really want to get a better idea of what was going on, you'll need to go to YouTube to watch all of the videos on the series to get a really good idea. So, as always guys, thanks for watching.